Hi everybody, welcome to my June 2025 garden tour. I am in zone 5A-ish. Start over here. I've got 2 green stalks. One is herbs and edible flowers. These are bread seed poppies. And the bottom portion is green beans and some drying beans. They are on spinny bases, so I can get better lighting. This one is mostly strawberries. I got them bare root plants this year. This tower in the empty pockets that the strawberries didn't survive. Some of them I did pop in some green bean plants because I didn't want to waste the space because I don't have a very big yard. I do have a ton of grasshoppers. I'm trying to figure out what to do with them. If anybody has any ideas or any tips on grasshopper control, let me know. I don't want to use super harmful chemicals or anything like that because I don't want to harm the pollinators. Ooh, I think this berry's good. Finding the strawberries has been a lot of fun. I attempted strawberries last year, but none of my bare root plants survived. So I did buy all new ones this year. I didn't even end up with leaves last year. Over here is my blueberry plant. It's a jelly bean blueberry. It should survive in my cold temperatures. I'm in zone 5A-ish. Something say 4. So I try to find things that'll go down to at least zone 4 for the winter. It will be in a container, just not that small one. I'm just waiting for harvest of my potatoes, which we'll get to. And then I'll use those grow bags for my potatoes. I added some flowers for the pollinators. I didn't realize how often I would need to deadhead those. So I think next year I will do more research on flowers that require less deadheading because I don't enjoy that kind of constant maintenance, but I know it's necessary for them to keep blooming and looking pretty. We've got my spearmint plant contained inside of a pot, so it doesn't take over everything. This pot is different types of basil and chamomile, and another grasshopper. The chamomile I grew from seed, and none of the basil I grew from seed. I tried, but I fried them with my lights. This is my first year trying to grow things from seed because it's only my second year gardening in general. So I did struggle with growing things from seed. Like these onions are looking beautiful, but they're not started from seed for me. I did buy transplants from Johnny's Seed. They're all Walla Wallas. I tried to grow them from seed for myself, but I fried them off under my lights because my lights were too close. Lesson learned for next year, and that's fine. That's what gardening is for, is to learn and have fun. This is garden bed 1. I did number all of my beds. I have a spreadsheet so I knew where I wanted to plant things for the year. And so this is bed 1, and it's onions. They're all Walla Walla, and some of them look like they're starting to have decent bulb size. If I remember right from my spreadsheet, I should be harvesting them sometime in July or August. I'll have to double check my spreadsheet. This bed, along with the Walla Walla onions, also has some pepper plants. We have some Sugar Rush striped peach. I started those by seed in beginning of May, so they're still really little. I didn't get the seeds in time. I didn't even know about the peppers, oh hi Bee, until end of April, middle of April, and they just sounded so good. I think they'd make such a good hot sauce. They do take, like, I think it's 120 days from transplant to get peppers, so hopefully I'll get some this year. I'm not sure, but we can always try next year if I don't. Then we've got some serranos next to it. Those were also planted at the same time, beginning of May as those, because I didn't know I wanted to plant serranos until later. We've got a banana pepper. Oh, hi bees. And a jalapeno, early jalapeno back there. We have an Emerald Delight zucchini. A general theme that you will notice is I definitely pack things in my garden. Something I'm working on, spacing and planning. I already have ideas for next year of how I would do it different to make things a little less stressed, a little easier to actually see everything. But you live, you learn, you keep gardening and going. All of the marigolds that are lining my beds are French marigolds, and I started them from seed. We've got 4 pepper plants on the end of this bed, and 2 Megatron jalapenos and 2 island bell peppers. I also planted 2 types of rutabaga, the American purple top and the yellow Swedish. I don't know if that's what they're called. I don't remember their name. I'll look it up and put it on the screen. We've got more flowers for the pollinators. Again, I have to be deadheaded and it's just not a fun task. I also do most of my pruning in the evenings because I am allergic to bees and I don't want to, one, get stung or disrupt them pollinating from things. So I tend to not come out here a ton midday. This little pot is nasturtiums. I'm hoping to get enough of them to be able to make a pesto. I think that would be delicious with their peppery taste. And we've got another little pollinator plant. This one is a pineberry plant. I didn't know that they needed friends for pollination, that they are not self-pollinating. So I don't think I'll actually get any pine berries this year, but it did shoot off runners that I think I'm going to root and try to overwinter it, and maybe I'll get them next year. I planted my garlic in October last year. We have rosewood garlic and Chinook red garlic. The seed garlic was purchased from a local garlic growing company. There's also some bunching onions in there. I don't remember if I put white Lisbon or red bunching. I guess I'll find out when I harvest. Down here we have a little patch of carrots. And then the very end of this bed is the peppers again. This is garden bed 3. It has my peppers and my tomatoes. They are determinate tomatoes, so they're not going to get crazy tall. Obviously, too close to each other. Again, I'm working on that for next year. And then we have our peppers. We've got cayenne peppers, paprika, more jalapenos, lemon spice jalapenos in there. And then I have this trellis wall, and along it we've got some runner beans. And up top, those are my magnolia sugar snap peas, and they are so tall now that I do need a ladder to harvest them. They are mostly trellising on each other. Some of it is attached to the netting. That was my thought, is that they would trellis on the netting. I didn't know that pole beans in there, some bunching onions tucked down in, and I put my cilantro in here because tomatillos get very large, and I'm hoping to be able to shade out the cilantro and be able to have it longer through the season. These are my huckleberry plants. I thought it'd be fun to see if I could grow them in my backyard instead of having to go forage them in the wild. They are grown wild where I live, but nowhere super close. I would have to go a couple hours to be able to get to the trails that you'll be able to find them. So I thought if I could grow them in my backyard, how fun would that be? And then down here is my longest garden bed, and this one is a mini Three Sisters patch, which has sunflowers, painted corn. There is a butternut squash down in here, and then the other winter squash I have are jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. I do need to go through and decide which ones are going to stay because I can't have this many next to each other in this space. And then that is a cinnamon gal pie pumpkin, and a butter bush squash down there. The end of this bed also has some more dill. This is the, oh gosh, what's it called? I don't remember. I'll have to look up which one. It's the bouquet. It's the dill that gets really large, that most people use for pickling instead of just using for the frilly dill fond in cooking. That bin is my trash can compost bin. That's a new addition for myself this year. Last year I just used the city green bin that we have for our yard waste, but I thought it'd be nice to be able to use my own compost to put it back into my garden. This is my potato patch. They're each in 15-gallon grow bags, and each grow bag is a different variety of potatoes. This one had some storm damage, so I did have to give it a little trim, but it seems to be doing better. Each grow bag is labeled for which variety it is. All of the California poppies are volunteers from last year. Same thing with the bachelor buttons, and of course the weeds that are in there too. Can't forget that they also volunteer themselves to grow every year. Very considerate. However, would I garden without them? Thanks for watching, friends. That was my June 2025 garden tour. If you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them down below. Anything is appreciated. I'm still learning. This is only my second year gardening, and there's still so much for me to learn. Don't forget, drink your water, wear your sunscreen, and be kind. Thanks. Oh, it's hot, sunny, I'm sweaty. Glistening, not sweat. Glisten. That's fine.